What's up, Sassy Gamers? Today is July 9th, 2021. And I'm here with Brian, Bruno, and Kelly.
Hey, guys.
And this is Got Our Attention Podcast, Season 2, Episode 4.
This is a much more confusing intro than when we just used to mess with you.
Well, yeah. That's the point.
Confusing
It's
us,
got a little too
annoying
confusing.
us. I don't know.
It'll be fine. The point is, I actually forgot to record my audio for this. So
take it down a notch.
This is me trying to recover.
Well, Windows cranks it up to 11.
And apparently my cat's in the room making a lot of noise.
That sounds like a
can't
romance
hear.
novel.
Okay.
She crinkles in the background.
I didn't realize she was in here.
Yeah, there we go. Lifetime.
Yeah. So interesting week, as I always say. And we're gonna get into
it's a week every week. Like each week it's a week.
Well, yeah.
It's not like a month.
But it's a better week than last week. So I guess we'll get into Kelly's corner. Oh, and apparently Bruno's on Mars. So there's that. All right, let's just get to Kelly's corner. Eventually.
A blowout.
Oh, I was talking about my morning because of my child. Very interesting.
Good time or bad time?
For those of you listening to the podcast, this is fun because I literally forgot to record my part last night.
All right, dude. Been there.
Baby shark, do 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 do. Baby shark.
Was he playing with it?
He was.
Okay, you haven't gotten to that.
No, he was just rolling around.
Haven't gotten to that level yet. Okay. Wait for that.
I hope I don't have to.
Well, speaking of cats, did you guys see the gigantic cat in Tokyo? There is a company.
I think I did see that.
You haven't? No. Okay. Well, I guess. Yeah. There's a company who has posted or is has portion of a huge advertisement in Shinjuku district, which is above one of the biggest or the busiest subways in Japan. It's a 3D enormous cat from I think it's 7 a.m. to 1 a.m. That cat does things like wakes up and meows, and you can actually hear it. There's actually a live stream as well of the cat doing its thing. Yeah. So, and of course, I watched the live stream. It's not consistently just the cat. It's actually other advertisements or other videos at the same time, but it is pretty amazing to watch. It is so cute. The first,
I think it's cool that they use a curved LED screen there, which is what gives them kind of that 3D look.
Makes it look real. It looks
amazing.
Really cool. Yeah. I guess this is like a thing in Japan lately too, to have these 3-dimensional billboards. There was another one with the big gigantic wave.
Oof.
Yeah. It was really cool.
Yeah, it's pretty neat because of the way that the building
snap.
is obviously the corner and the way that it's
wow,
shaped.
yeah, it looks really cool.
It makes it seem like it's actually popping out of the building. Like you can actually see the box that it's contained in. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we'll see some more of this kind of stuff in the future.
Yeah,
It's also got some shading from the other parts of the building around it with the red and blue. So it makes it look like that's part of the building
almost seamless
from certain angles.
Yeah.
That's really cool. No, that was cute.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Also, there was a group of researchers at Waterloo University that this is the one time I get to swear on this podcast with free reign that are researching whether or not if you're a bullshitter, are you more intelligent? And their very early research says, yeah, the people who can BS their way through something tend to be more intelligent. This is not to say that if you are not a BSer, or if you're a bad BSer, you're not intelligent. They made that point very, very clear in the article that I read.
I'm wicked smart.
Wicked smart. I was like, I'm a genius.
I mean, to me, it's the ones that
lawyers, salespeople.
The salespeople are not the
salespeople.
greatest.
Oh, good salespeople.
I mean, exactly. I wouldn't say all salespeople because some of them are just terrible.
Lawyers literally reference things.
Yeah. But if you're a bad BSer, according to this article, you're not very intelligent. If you're a bad BSer, you could still be intelligent, but if you're a good BSer, you are definitely intelligent. Or that's where the research is trending toward. Mm-hmm.
I knew Xycia was smart.
I mean, you didn't need that just to realize that. I mean, come on. Have you heard me before? I apparently always record my audio too.
The next one I have for you is there was the Highway Patrol, California Highway Patrol, CHP, pulled over a driver who had a SpaceX Starlink dish bolted to the front of their Prius. This one was really funny. It's as you were driving by in California. It's literally bolted to the very short front hood of a Prius. When the person was pulled over, I guess they argued against it, posted things on social media, and CHP said, "Does it clearly is obstructing? Is it obstructing your view?" And the guy was like, "Only when I make right turns." Yeah, that one was the stuff that people are doing these days.
Did he get ticketed for it?
Yes.
The BS factor on that one was very low.
Well, it's a Starlink dish, so he could just hit up Mr. Musk and be like, "Yo, my guy, can you cover this ticket for me?"
Yeah, and he'd be like, "Here you go. Here's like 300 Doge."
Yeah. He'd be like, "Yo, here's like 300 Dogecoin for you to pay your ticket."
To the moon.
Right.
That's the point.
They only cover like half. So
that's the joke.
The guy was saying the reason. The Doge joke.
The Doge is the joke.
Man, this is hard. Trying to do audio.
I guess the guy was saying that he used it to work when he was on the road. But I mean, I've got a hotspot on my phone that works just as well.
I think we all have hotspots on our phone at this point.
He could have just mounted it to the roof of the car, like.
Yeah, to the roof. Priuses are supposed to be really aerodynamic too, and the whole point of the shape of the car is that it uses less gas, it uses more electricity.
We got a big enough one, and there was enough wind. He wouldn't even need.
Yeah.
The rest of the car.
I mean, there's no way. There's no way this thing was aerodynamic at all. So, yeah. Yes.
Not
Probably
intelligent.
not intelligent. Probably not intelligent.
Idiot. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
So what's probably not BS is the popularity of a nice little game franchise called Assassin's Creed. And Ubisoft reportedly directly from Bloomberg, who for the most part has good information, but sometimes gets a little bit of it wrong. It looks like Ubisoft is going to be creating Assassin's Creed Infinity. And the idea here is that it's more of a living game that develops over time, very similar to like a GTA Online, a little bit similar to a Fortnite, but more around having multiple historical eras, I guess, that you could go and visit to the different ones. It's kind of a cross-studio collaborative. I mean, everything's cross-studio on Ubisoft. That doesn't shock me. Ubisoft has got like 40,000 people across like 100 studios worldwide or something like that. So I'm not shocked that it's a cross-studio collaborative structure.
But all of the Assassin's Creeds have flip-flopped between Quebec and Montreal, right?
Yeah.
So there's always been.
I think that's the main of it.
Yeah, there's been a conflict between the two. So
Conflict.
the fact that they are a conflict, we'll put it that
like
way.
Sledgehammer and Treyarch for the Call of Duty stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. The fact that they're going to be merging
There's a third one.
merging their efforts together will be very interesting. I'd like to be a fly on the wall in that meeting or Zoom.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to this because it'll be interesting to see how they do kind of an online living game portion of it. Traditionally, a lot of these living games are very low cost to get into. GTA is, tends to have a fairly low cost initially to get into it. Fortnite, of course, is free. It'd be interesting to see like where they take it. Like, because like GTA, they brought in the casinos, they've got the cars, they got their crazy physics, and they've got their audience because of that. Whereas Fortnite, yeah, you have the game, but then they have concerts and movies, and their living game is like extremely living. They make massive. They're not afraid about making massive changes. I'll be interested to see how Ubi kind of approaches that because, I mean, some of that's
well, yeah. The thing is with Ubisoft and the Assassin's Creed games is that it goes through different eras. Like you're playing through different periods of time. So there was, Assassin's Creed 2, where it's like the Da Vinci in Spain.
Weird
Then you had
stuff.
like Assassin's 3, like the Revolutionary War, and you've had even the black like the Black Pearl type of like sailing in the seas and stuff. So there's all of those aspects to it, and to see something like that in a living game online where you're going to have to see those time periods kind of intersect with the game online seems to be very interesting in the way that this could shape up to be in like a new type of online game where the experience is always going to be changing. And, it's not like GTA where you have the same world and, just new events. It's going to be like something where the world could be changing.
Well, I mean, they need to grow some cojones and have one of the worlds be that overarching world, because Abstergo is the company that makes all the games based off of their search for ancient artifacts like the Apple of Eden and other things to help control the world for their faction, because it's the Templars. The Templars created Abstergo, and they created the machine to go back into your DNA memories, which is what all of that's based off of. So I will be interested to see if they actually start to expand that world, the whole like 2050 or whatever year it is that Abstergo is taking place in.
That'd be very interesting. Yeah.
If anything, the present day or Abstergo level of it should at least be like your world picker. Like you're walking around the office and you're like, I'm going to go into the pirate section, or I'm going to go into the Egypt section, and you just lay down and then you load up that particular
I'm
world.
Curious with it being a live service game. I mean, there's going to be multiplayer components to it. So like, how does that work? Because in the lore of Assassin's Creed, when you go into it, you're not going into the past with other people. You're specifically going into the memories of like an ancestor you're related to.
Right.
So how do you get presented with the opportunity to be there with another player if the entire lore of the game is based on the fact that you are the sole person in these memories because there is no other external interactions? How does
they did start to get away from that, where that they're recording your memories so that other people can relive them. So they might play up a little bit more on that part of it, which would be interesting. And they have done a little bit of multiplayer in the past where they kind of had where all of the players had contracts. So, we would simplify it here. Like I would have a contract like to take out Xycia. Xycia would have a contract to take out Demirin. Demirin has a contract to take out Daydrinker, and Daydrinker
would never do
a contract to take out me. And we don't know who has what contract, we just are trying to track the other person down while someone's trying to take us out. So they've done a little multiplayer.
It is Ubisoft, so like, what if like, I mean, they're the creators of Division. What if the main game is essentially like a Division-like world where you can try and kill the other players before they get to go back in time and gain additional knowledge and abilities to kill you back? There we go.
Or even better, you went into a world that was totally populated with rabbits.
Or you have to try to complete your TPS reports before somebody else so you can be able to go back in time. And if you don't complete it, then you die.
Can it be the other office? Can I just
There's a reason why you don't design games.
There you go.
I mean, you never know.
Or like trip Kevin and make him spill the chili again?
Oh,
Guys, it's not funny.
People are evil.
Oh, man.
Don't laugh at me. I worked really hard on this chili.
Gravy, man.
Almost too good.
We could just go ahead and just stop this and just watch The Office now.
Okay.
So keep an eye out for that. Keep an eye out.
You do great, Kevin, by the way.
I do. I know. Thank you.
That's pretty good.
Keep an eye out for Assassin's Creed Infinity. Probably a couple of years down the road is what I would expect.
I will most definitely do that.
2024, 2025. Oh, God, no.
Yeah, it'll be.
Nope.
It'll be like this year.
Nope.
You know, Ubisoft's done a pretty good job of releasing fully completed games as of recent.
As of recent, yes, there was the Paris one where the faces were melting off.
Like Valhalla was done.
Oh, yeah.
Origins was done. Division 2
I don't
was
think they
done.
released it on the Ouya.
Phoenix Rising was done. So like, you know, a lot of their most recent games, they were completed games.
Yeah, well, there's plenty of time to ruin that, so we'll see what happens.
Yes, of course. That's like the base part of the game. That's in every single one of their games now. They put that thing in, even if the game isn't a Assassin's Creed game, they're like, put it in anyways. And everyone's like, why? It's not Assassin's Creed. And they're like, shut up. Don't mess with the formula. Like, guys, why is there a hay bale in the middle of Manhattan sitting? They're like, shut up. It's just supposed to be there so that when people jump off the Empire State Building, they just land inside of the bale of hay. And they're like, but this is like post-apocalyptic. Why is there a bale of hay? They're like, why are you
There's
asking?
not even hay anymore.
We don't pay you to ask questions. We pay you to put bales of hay in Manhattan. All right? Get to it. Come on.
First class.
Well, you save us from this.
All right. So last week we did a story on the Hot Wheels Unleashed, and Hot Wheels Unleashed is included as part of Hot Wheels Unleashed is going to be a custom track builder as part of their list of features, which looks really cool. You guys have got to check out the video. It is your childhood dream come true, as they say. There's going to be at least 20 modules to mix and match, different colors, different twists, different curves. That's what she said. And then you'll be able to include it from a library that includes the Hungry Cobra, which I remember being able to drive a car through, the T-Rex Escape, and then the Spider Ambush. So you have to definitely try that one out. That one looks really, really cool, actually. I really want to play this game so bad.
They made announcements that they did a campus inclusion into it where you'll have like a library, like a dorm room and like a cafeteria that you'll be able to build tracks in. I saw something that looked like a skater park because it looked, or like an indoor warehouse skater park because it had like a half pipe. I saw like the backgrounds that you're building, the environments that you're building some of the stuff in just look sick. They're just awesome. And on top of that, you have like your normal orange track, sure. And you got boost like you do on most of these types of arcade type, driving games. But I saw things where the track splits, you can go different directions. You can you can not only go off the track, but you can go off the track as a shortcut.
Yes.
You can go off the track, boost while everybody's going around the long way, and you can turn. You can like literally turn sideways and drift in the air and land on the track and then take off again. That looks amazing.
Well, this game is
just
Hot Wheels branded Trackmania.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Except for probably less technical, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit more arcadey than Trackmania. But yes, I think that's you nailed it.
Well, the question is, can you have the boost where it goes so fast that it eventually breaks the track and your car flies and sticks into the ceiling? Where it's just hanging there.
Good question. We'll have to do some research on that. September 30th.
You guys have seen the video
when it's available.
It's a track builder, so Xycia, I look forward to the track that you built.
Yeah. So you can share tracks. So you can create your own track. You can try out other people's tracks. It's
except in my track,
you can download them to a disc and then go to the side of the road and try and get somebody to play your track.
Yeah.
Except my track will never.
Oh, that was a deep cut.
Well, my track would never happen because all I would do is consistently try to keep building my track and building my track, and it will never be finished.
Xycia has to go back to the real world instead of us talking about music.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what do you expect?
Unsurprised.
Lots of unfinished tracks.
Just like real life.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for.
Well, yes, like Day Drinker said, that is going to be released September 30th. So looking forward to that. Is Xycia and his unfinished tracks there. But more importantly, right now, we've got Xycia's Phasmo-Minute.
Oh God, this is totally not going to be that kind of thing. Because
were you not part of the pre-show?
I guess not, because
considering this is a segment now, I think that he has to play a minimum of 8 hours of Phasmophobia.
Yeah.
Ooh, yes.
A week.
Definitely not a thing.
Yes.
I'm in.
Not at all.
I'm in.
So Phasmophobia, if you're not familiar, we've talked about it plenty of times.
That's because Cyberpunk wasn't a real game.
Yeah. So
arguably, Phasmo is a better game than Cyberpunk 2077.
More stable content, for sure.
I definitely would agree with that. So Phasmophobia, if you haven't heard of it, we've been talking about it for quite a while. It was released back in October, and it's been pushing out updates all the time, and with one developer, literally one guy who has this game going. There's a Trello board that you can go online. It's kind of like a roadmap. It'll show you the progress that's happening. We've actually seen things we've added, or not we added, but we talked about that would be cool that got added. And one of the new things that were featured on the post board this soon was called Horror 2.0. And it says features such as new ghost events and an overhaul of ghost events in general. We have hallucinations, new death rooms, and new death animations, which are also mentioned. And I'm sure the rest of them will have reactions here in just a second to what I said, because I don't think it's caught up to them yet. And when they do, they're going to be like really excited. So eventually that'll happen. I think it's right there. Yep, here they are excited.
Oh, God.
Some of the other things that they're going to do with this, too, is for VR specifically.
Yes.
The goal is to swap out OpenVR support to OpenXR, which will allow, this is from a Upload VR article, it will allow the support for new feature headsets, controllers, and easier integration. OpenXR is the new industry standard that provides an API for VR and AR content, making game engines compatible across various hardware platforms. Valve, Microsoft, and Facebook have all recommended that game engine using OpenXR moving forward. So I thought that was really neat that this guy is already going ahead of the curve and trying to get his game into the OpenXR platform, which is something that these large companies are going to start pushing their content to. And again, small maker, pretty wild that this is pretty much everything that he's doing, and it's just continuously keeps going.
Amazing.
And then I keep talking. And I'm not really sure what I'm saying at this point, but I'm still talking, but they're making faces, so apparently that's good.
Oh my God, that would be amazing. Oh my God.
Oh, I said the haptic suits. They're looking at haptic suits as well. And there's no way that I'll be haptic suits.
That's Shocktober. That's a Shocktober thing.
Yeah,
for sure.
there's no way I'll be doing haptic suits. So, anyway, with that being said, listen to a word from our sponsor. Give us just a few minutes, and we'll be back after the break with better audio because I started recording after the break. So this will be fun. Stay tuned. I guess, but I'm still talking. So I don't know what's happening at this point. I'm just saying things and it's sad.
2 new ghosts.
Oh, the new ghost. We were talking about the gameplay we did. We played it recently. They have 2 new ghosts. There's actually a level that has nothing to hide in, so you can't hide in a closet. You can actually hide behind furniture, which is pretty interesting because it definitely gives you less room to do anything. So there's also that part of the game. So you check it out. There's a lot of new stuff going on. They keep adding stuff, so pretty cool. I think Brian actually got scared.
So twice it hunted me down. And the first time, I don't know how I survived because I went into a room, I closed the door, and then I went into the corner and turned my flashlight off. And I was very quiet. And then because I had my flashlight off, I couldn't see anything. And I just heard the walking around. And then someone called the all clear. And I turned on my flashlight and the door was open. So it had come in and I was like not really hiding all that well. So I don't know how I survived. I was completely shocked. And then there was another time that it just came into the room and took me out, which is more of what I expected when it comes in the room. So that was actually less surprising.
Yeah.
But it was more freaky. It freaked me out more that I turned on my flashlight and the door was wide open.
Yeah, that freaked me out too.
Oh God.
I really wish that they I really want him, I guess I was saying them, but I really want the developer to add in like a fighting back function. They want to be able to tussle with the ghosts a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
Like
It's funny.
I mean, you got that
Like
a little bit with the
both its
crucifix
eyes or something. Yeah.
something a little bit more than the crucifix. Like I don't know, like some kind of a weapon. I don't know, what is it, like silver? No, not silver. What is it? Iron? What is it?
What's
There's
funny
like something
is-
specific to repel ghosts. Some kind of
Sage.
metal.
salt,
Oh,
just
iron.
salt?
Sage. Oh, sage.
Iron, yeah, it is
Well,
iron.
yeah, but there is sage.
It's funny is that my wife actually wants the
Smells
exact
good.
opposite. She wants to be able to hunt them without them hunting us at all. Because like most ghost shows, you don't actually have like things attacking you. It's just like you're going there
That's
and
true.
investigating and then you leave. So
That's because there's no real ghost there.
well
Also possession.
Beside the
possession
point.
would be cool.
Like actual full blown possession would be cool. Like
Yeah, that would be really neat.
Oh, now that would be cool. That would be cool if you lost control of your body
Yes.
and it muted your mic so you couldn't talk. And everybody's like, "What's wrong with Brian? Boy, he's walking weird." And they got their flashlights on you, and you're like shambling towards. That would be cool.
Yeah.
I think
that would
be
be amazing.
Mike would nope out so fast the first time
Oh,
that happens.
dude.
He'd be like, "Nope,
No.
sorry."
You know what?
He says-
no. Mike
we'd be all
Mike
like-
would enjoy that. Mike would enjoy
I
that.
don't know about that. I mean, if I'm like playing Left 4 Dead, I'm definitely the hunter, but not like following Brian into a corner and then like he turns around and his
No,
eyes are
I'm
red.
sorry.
Like-
Mike would enjoy it if he was the one being possessed.
Oh
I
yeah,
should-
he
for
might
sure.
enjoy that. But
That's why I was always the hunter.
Yeah.
but if we were possessed and he saw us, all of a sudden he would like disappear out of the game because he would just disconnect.
Player has left the game.
Like, where'd Mike go?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. It's like, it's so weird. My internet went out again.
Yeah, let's not
I don't know what happened.
let's not get started on the internet again.
Uh-oh.
All right. Well, with that being said, give us a few minutes.
Garbage men. The
And-
garbage men.
We'll be back after this short message. And we're back. We're going to talk about what we've been playing. Game of the moment. We played.
All right.
Well, we didn't play anything. Daydrinker and Phoenix played something this week called
Devour. I wouldn't so much say that I played it. I more died in it. And then
the extreme version
Phoenix
of
had to sit-
Overcooked.
yes. Overcooked. Extreme. It was.
I see what you did there. That's good. That's good.
Yeah. So lots of goats. Lots of cooking of the goats. Similar to Pacified, the ghost hunting games. We had to go into. There are different settings. We chose the farmhouse setting. Go into the farmhouse, find a way to get in, release these goats, feed the goats, steal the goats, take them, sacrifice the goats, and it was a ton of fun.
These are baby
goats.
Let's-
Baby goats.
Baby goats.
Well, I mean,
they
we
could
were
just be
starting.
miniature.
I'll say
goats.
mini goats, actually. Yeah, they're not baby.
Yeah.
They're mini goats.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were. It was
Easy
like
to
we were
pick
starting our own falafel food truck or something.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
Except
We had to feed those
it was like a
goats.
Euro truck. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they
Yeah,
were
Euro
saying
truck, exactly.
like they had to chase these goats around, and I was like, it'd be better if you were a person who's going to sacrifice animals to just use fainting goats, because that way you can just you don't have to like chase them, you can just scare them.
Yeah, we don't have to feed them.
Yeah, but who am I? I don't sacrifice things much, so.
Yeah. There was the demon inside Anna, and she really, really liked me. Pretty sure she had a crush on me. So
Pretty much.
what are you gonna do? But she liked to kill me. She killed me a couple of times. Cool thing about this game is when you die, she'll take you wherever she wants. So sometimes I was in the attic, sometimes I was on the front porch, sometimes I was in the foyer. It just
Sometimes it was in her bedroom.
Sometimes it was. And then Phoenix had to find a first aid kit and bring it to me. Oh, one thing that I didn't love about the game is you can only hold one thing at a time. I'm sure that's by design. So if Phoenix was carrying some hay or a goat, you had to drop the goat and come and save me so that we could throw some gasoline in the fire and find another goat to sacrifice. It was a neat game. Looking back, being able to play it with a second player was a lot of fun. And I can see how different strategies come into play. One thing that you'd mentioned, Phoenix, was, we can light the fire anytime. And, I lit the fire first, but you can keep the fire going without doing anything. So, maybe bringing all the gas cans over, just throw another gas can in and go in and getting another goat. Finding the hay. It was...
Hey.
So there was one thing about this game that you guys did that I'm still not sure why. Because this game is literally just a first date simulator. And when I say that is, you're literally together looking for roses all through this house.
Yep.
What was the point of the roses?
I think that's an
episode
achievement
of The Bachelor. Absolutely.
The question here is more, why do you think that searching for roses to an abandoned house while slaughtering goats is an acceptable first date?
I
mean, it's got
do you
roses.
have a problem with that?
Roses, they were cooking each other dinner.
Seems like a
like
solid second date kind of thing.
I mean, maybe you're taking certain portions of this too seriously. I mean, like sacrificing. I mean, it could be barbecuing goats.
Yes.
Yeah,
I mean, literally.
I feel like that's
blood everywhere.
the discussion leading up to that is more of the first date thing. Like you go out to dinner, you go, it'd be really cool. We both have the same connection. We both want to slaughter
we
baby
both,
goats to summon a demon.
Mini goats.
They're not baby, they're miniature.
Miniature goats. And then like we should do that for a second date and then you meet up. But Mike's like first date out the bat, we're just gonna go to an abandoned house and burn miniature goats to summon a demon.
This is the age of Tinder. I mean, you have one swipe, and if you don't make it on that swipe, then you get.
Is this like to set
don't
people up
forget-
for the ultimate version of ghosting?
Well,
There's-
technically,
there's the
you're part of a
bonus.
cult. So I'm pretty sure dating
Yeah.
is against the rules to begin with. So this is like as close as we can get.
I mean, dating and
true.
I don't know, group
friendships.
or
I mean, Anna definitely was the leader. I mean, she manhandled you quite well.
no, but you're forgetting the bonus. You're forgetting the bonus that you get this cool flashlight that shines a white light, and then at a flick of a switch, it shines UV, and you can burn up these little goat-headed demons that come up out of pentagrams out of the ground. So,
yes.
I mean, this is a bonus for a first date. I mean,
It
most
really
first
is.
date people would pay extra for something like this. And in this, you just get it for free. I would like to say that very much if you played like another game that we have played, Pacify, I would say that these games possibly are made in the same engine.
Mm-hmm.
There's a good chance they
I
were made
think
with
so.
some of the same assets. But that being said, still fun. It
was a
played
blast.
very similarly, but was still also very interesting. I
It
almost
was
like
a
at
very
times
nice
almost
way
thought
of
that
him
this
saying they both look like not great.
they look
Yeah.
Like a-
okay for
I
a
mean,
Like a
PS2
4 out of
game.
10.
They were using the same goat photo or goat painting over and over and over again in the house. I mean, it's not a, it was $3.99 on the Steam sale. I think it's $4.99 now.
Yeah.
But
Just wait 3 years from now, there'll be a news story. The people who created Devour stole that art from somebody's book.
yes,
Oh,
It's gonna be a whole
that's
thing.
Exactly what happened.
So
I just don't understand that there's all these goats and there's goats everywhere. Goat this, goat that. No goats anywhere to be seen.
Yeah. And Phoenix, you did something that I tried initially too, was you grab some hay and you've got the key to let the goats out. So when you let the goats out, you drop the hay and then they don't eat the hay. They just run right past it. And I tried the exact same strategy playing single player. And I was like, come on, man, the hay's right here. At least I could get one or two.
no.
No, they're too excited for their freedom that they just right past you. And they bust down a door and
One of the cool things that was mentioned on their page, and it actually is something you talked about, is that it does have replayability. Unlike Pacify is very
Yes.
one-sided. Like once you play the game, it's like you already kind of know the story and exactly what you have to do. Or this game, you actually do have, you know what you have to do. You have to burn the goats, right? But the way they've designed it is, like she said with Anna, like she takes you in random places, so it's not the same location every time. I believe the roses and the keys kind of generate randomly through the house as well each time. So each playthrough,
but the keys
is a little
randomly
different.
randomly generate Pacify too. I mean, I think there is some randomness in it, but there's not a lot. I would think that once you like work together and beat one of those levels, that unless the interior randomized, that you probably would never play it again.
Well, we'll find out.
Yeah.
Well, you're next. You got to play with us.
Yes.
Did you play something else, Kelly?
Weaseling out of that one. Don't worry, we'll get you afterward. So I played another game called Not for Broadcast. It's early access right now on Steam. It's pretty cool. I actually wanted to play it initially as the game of the moment, or the game of the week, as I kept calling the game of the moment. But there's just a lot going on. So you are supposed to be the behind the scenes broadcaster, choosing which camera angle is broadcast live. You're choosing the commercials that get played. And then, so you put it all together, you have to, fix the frequency. There's a lot that happens. And I always knew that like the whole behind the scenes of any broadcast is actually very stressful, surely. But when you're finally in the thick of it, you're like, oh my gosh. And so you're seeing that there's a conversation happening with the news anchor and other people, but you can't hear, you can hear what's happening, but you're not like paying attention because you've got this other thing that's going on. And there's a group that have just won an election and you're paying attention to that. And you got to bleep out some swear words. And so I know exactly how you feel now, Phoenix.
Oh, good. You'll be perfect for this then.
Yeah, exactly. But the cool thing about the game is the questions that you answer and the choices that you make change how the game progresses. So it seems like the people who won the election are, trying to take from the rich and give to the poor. But one of the guys is like wasted on camera. And you're like, is this really what they're planning on doing? And then they ask you a series of questions. And then after that, the different broadcast different conversations on the broadcast change. So cool thing about it is one of the achievements is watching your own broadcast. And sometimes I was like, I did a really great job. And I was like, oh my God, I was so awful. Other achievements, watching through the broadcast, selecting different commercials. You get to see what's happening in the commercials that you didn't get to see because you were busy doing other things. So it's cool to see the entire thing happen, and then you're like, okay, wait, moving forward, I'm never playing that commercial again. This guy's definitely a weirdo. Definitely pay attention to this other side conversation that was happening in the background. So I highly suggest it, but it is definitely something you can't just like pause and take a break from. There's constant stuff going on, and it was not something that I could have talked about while playing the game with you guys. There's, like I said, too much going on. So
cool. That sounds pretty interesting. Do you remember how much it was?
Yeah. $24.99 right now.
Is that on Steam?
I think the Steam sale, I got it for cheaper, but yeah, it is on Steam.
Cool. Well, we'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
So I've been playing.
That's actually, that also brings up Devour. I don't think that we mentioned it. It's on Steam.
She did. For
a paltry price of like $4.99.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, I missed it. If she did, I apologize.
You're good. I played a few games, and I have been playing a few games. One is the one I'll announce now because 3 of us are playing it. Clash of Clans on our cell phones. We're doing it. It's happening. Join our Discord. Join our clan.
Like right now, it's happening.
We're in a war right now. Battles will set at us. SAS Gaming. Anyway, we also, so another game that I've been playing is MTG Arena. So if you're not familiar with Magic the Gathering, I'm not either until recently. But I had some friends at work showing me their Magic cards, and I was like, oh my God, you're doing that thing. Wow, what a nerd. And then a day later, I'm playing Magic the Gathering Arena online. So if you are familiar with Hearthstone, very much the same game, except it's Magic. So it's like Magic came out. Hearthstone was like, wow, this is a great way to do things. We should make a card game. And they made this like really cool like phone game plus like also application game. And then Magic was like, wow, that's a really good way to do that. We should just do that with Magic. And they made this. So it's actually really neat. I'm not going to get into the explaining of what Magic is and how to play it, but if you're familiar with it, you can look it up. But the idea is the platform, the way to play it is very easy to do, whether you're on mobile phone or on PC. The game plays just like it would Hearthstone, or even like if you're in person, like the way the game moves. It's just a lot easier. The art's there. It kind of gives you explanations of like how the cards work and stuff. So I've been playing a lot of that in my spare time. The other game
the interesting thing about that is, one, when you were first talking about it and you were talking about like, oh yeah, it's really like Hearthstone. And we're like, yeah, because Hearthstone was kind of in many ways based off of that, except that they eased off a lot of the craziness and intricacies that you find in Magic. But that's one thing, and that's fine. The best part, though, was sitting next to you on this like nearly 2-hour trip that we took, and you're playing it and watching the evolution of Mike from, oh my God, this is stupid. I don't get what it's doing. I'm like, who even likes this anyway? This thing is just dumb. I don't get it. I don't get what the cards do. And literally watch him go to, oh, that's so cool. I just found this dynamic. Like, oh, I just like killed this guy. I was like totally negative and like almost dead, and I only had 3 points of health left. And then I just totally destroyed this guy. Like, this is fantastic. This is so cool how it works together and how all these different things work and this, that. And I was like, that's that. Yes. That's what gets people into Magic. Cause like a moment ago, you're seeing Demurin just about have a migraine because we're talking about this. And he's just like, oh, cause yes. I mean, this is not a new game. This thing's been out. I mean, the card game version of it has been out just for decades at this point. And nothing in it is new, and a lot of it gets recycled, but they find new, they're like Taco Bell. They keep finding new ways to combine the same 8 ingredients.
Yeah. And they
That's
do
a great analogy.
and there, he was able to put his hands on some magic very quickly there. That's awesome. It wouldn't take me long to grab some magic stuff either. I'll probably bequeath my magic cards onto you, Demir, and see how that works out. You and the wife could play. But actually, I mean Xycia. But
Yeah,
what
right.
he's
it's
doing. He's trying to
what
get you to
gets
play,
you
really.
is.
So you're saying you're not giving me your cards?
I mean, I have enough. I could probably share them out among all of us.
No.
But
I was channeling Bruno.
what really gets a person, and in this case, completely got Xycia, is when you find that combination that clicks. And it's because I was explaining it to him, because when he was complaining about this, I was kind of explaining, okay, the dynamics work in such a way that there's typically like you have to get multiple dynamics chained together between multiple different cards, not just two different sets. And then it starts to, they start to synergize, and the cards themselves usually aren't worth that much, but synergize with these other cards. And then this other thing that happens over here, all of a sudden something magical happens. And I got to watch it live, and it's one of those things you're only ever going to see once in a person. It was amazing, and
It was
not all games can do that.
if you will.
It was magical.
Wow.
Not all games do you get to see that, and this is one of those games that if you get to watch somebody figure it out, it's pretty cool.
Figured out.
Figured
Figure it out.
So, oh man, what a time. So another game I've been playing recently is because, and this is a game we've talked about before, we've played it before, but new DLC has come out for it, which is free if you have Xbox Game Pass, but Sea of Thieves. So they just released their Pirates of the Caribbean DLC, which is basically just like the movies, minus actually Johnny Depp. So Johnny Depp is not in the game at all. His character is. Jack Sparrow is in, but his voice is definitely not his voice, which obviously them and Disney had some falling out. So, but we played through two of the main stories of the quest so far. So the first two, the first one was very much the nostalgia of kind of like going on the Pirates Caribbean ride. Like you get to kind of see the characters that are there if you're used to that. And just the little knickknacks and things. You're like, wow, this is like just like the ride, almost like the movie and stuff.
Yeah.
And the second level, second quest was a lot longer. So the first one probably took us maybe an hour. The second one took a few hours, and it's a really deep dive into the story. And there's just a lot of puzzles to involve. It reminded me a lot of a light version of like Destiny or Destiny 2 puzzles, like with groups, like the
Yeah, and to be clear, the story that they're presenting, not a story from the movies. It's not a rehash of the movies or anything like that. They have their own story that they're telling here that is happening in the world of Sea of Thieves.
Yeah. One of the things that I thought was really interesting is that if you're familiar with Sea of Thieves, like the ocean is one of the best parts of the game. The game looks amazing. The ocean is just like, it feels like real water. And especially if you get sick, like seasick, like you'll literally get seasick.
Yeah.
But one of the neat things is typically when you jump in the water, it's vast and there's usually sharks. And now they've added in sirens, which are these like mermaid people that basically destroy you if you get too close and you're out there by yourself. But another thing, so part of one of these missions is you're going to find, and this is I guess it can be a spoiler. So if you don't want to play this, fast forward. But you get to dive down to find the Black Pearl. You're looking for the ship, right? So you start swimming down into the water, and usually it's just, cloudy, and you just eventually die because you don't have enough air to get anywhere. But you keep swimming, and then eventually you actually get to like the bottom of the ocean, and it's just really cool. Like that to add that in to the game that you're already used to playing was really neat to me.
That's awesome.
So that's what I've been playing.
Yeah, I saw you guys playing that. I saw you mention it on Discord while we were driving back from some fireworks and stuff, and it was real sad that I didn't get to see it because the game, when I saw it advertised at E3, looked really, really cool. And the second I saw the dog holding the keys, and then there were the prisoners, I was like, this is gonna be Pirates of the Caribbean. So sad I missed it, but next time you guys play it, I will definitely watch it.
Watching.
Play it.
It's on Game Pass. It's on Game Pass.
That's
Be a pirate.
You can just
do it.
See, and actually,
Just do
that's
it.
one of the things.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that's very divisive about Sea of Thieves, and it's a negative to a lot of people, but in this case, it's kind of positive to what we're talking about here, which is that Sea of Thieves doesn't really have character progression. Your character doesn't get better at doing things. You don't like gain skills. You don't go up in level. You don't do any of that. Your ship doesn't do it. It's all like cosmetics, and of course you do get better of your own skills that you build up. But for the most part, you can jump in with your friends on this game at any point, and it's not like that they've out leveled you like they would do in World of Warcraft or fantasy, Final Fantasy 14, where they're 15 levels above you and they're just slaughtering everything around you and you're just sitting around with your little pea gun and can't do anything. This is completely different. You can come in at any time, play with your friends at any time. And this edition is nice because it adds this whole story quest that for the most part, the game was really lacking. I mean, they have done story quests since then, but this is the big, big IP that they brought in to like really show how they could do story quests well.
Yeah, it was
That's
definitely
awesome.
pretty neat. I would definitely check it out if you have that available.
Yep.
So that's what I've been playing. You guys have anything that you've been playing, Brian or Demir?
No.
No, didn't play anything. All right,
Nope.
great. All right, well, moving on. A lot of stuff. Brian did jump in on Sea of Thieves, and I know Demiran's been hooked on the game
Clash
that he mentioned last week, so we won't go into the handies again. And
I'm determined to play a lot more of Yakuza too, because that thing just tickles me in all the right places.
And I also played more at Dead of Night. I was talking to the guys on the break about how I was literally screaming at, like, freaking out at my computer because in those scares, it just jumps out. It makes me so looking forward to Halloween Horror Nights and haunted houses and just those jumps. God, it's gonna be amazing. So
I do have MTG Arena installed, and I play it from time to time. So, Mike, if you ever want to do some quick 1v1s,
Yeah, I'm down. Let's
1v1.
let's exchange deets later, and
It'll be your own.
I built my
first
own
date.
deck last night. Okay, I have a neat little deck that I made. So
I'd love to see your deck.
thanks.
Is it a big deck?
It's
No, he said it was a little deck.
a little deck.
A little deck.
Probably a standard sized deck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like 60 or so.
We'll tell him that
You
it's
erected the
standard
deck
size.
yourself?
Yes.
With some help. Yes. I went online and looked up videos.
Yeah, you made sure your deck
This
has
is
enough
usually
land.
how you wreck the deck.
Like I said, it's about 60. 60 or so.
Yeah,
Average.
yeah, gotcha. 60 units, gotcha. Yeah, 60 unit deck, pretty standard.
All right.
Oh. All right. So
Well, that put us in the right mood for this, didn't it?
All right, on to you, Kelly. You
yeah.
good? You good day drinker?
Yeah, I'm good.
Keep it
Hold
together.
on. Can't hold on.
Like that perfectly built deck.
Just like that perfectly built deck, I figured since I am the woman in the group, I wanted to talk about a vibrating chair.
Take that bullet.
I totally am taking the bullet.
Whoa, what bullet
Motion
are we talking?
One.
Okay.
Motion One chair from Cool Master
How do you know
is
that
a
was the
gaming
name?
chair.
Oh
I
my
had to do
god, I
it.
didn't realize
Yeah.
that.
Dead.
It's a gaming chair. It incorporates the D-Box haptic technology. So there are chairs out there. The same technology is used in yeah. Sorry. In movie theaters, as the article says, movie theaters, theme parks, training simulations in home theaters.
And casting couches near you.
Mean. Exactly. So it's supposed to give you the ultimate experience in gaming. It's a $2,000 chair, though. So if you're in... Yeah, if you've got $2,000 to spare for this $2,000 chair, it does seem pretty cool though. Vibrating aside,
well, I mean,
it would just be a chair,
vibrating included.
Yeah. Now, it's an immersive experience. It gives you a realistic game aspect. The article says has unparalleled comfort for, wait for it, working. Also playing and watching movies. But unparalleled comfort for working. It does look like it's on swivel. It looks like a swivel chair. So it looks like the bottom like moves around, and I mean, you want a real immersive gaming experience, and you have $2,000.
To be fair, I've heard of D-Box before. This isn't the first time
I've heard of D-Box?
D-Box. Yeah, D-Box I've heard of for chairs, in fact. And I wonder if D-Box is what they use. So AMC bought a set of theaters that has vibration built in. And
Which
I
theater?
kid you not. I kid you not, that the theaters are called the Big D.
The Big D experience.
And it's a neon green. Like, I kid you not, the Big D is like, it's...
Yeah, it's the Big D experience. I've been to one of those.
Oh, my God.
By the way, we were way over a minute.
Xycia.
And
I know. You didn't even start the
has
timer, so we're good.
I did start the timer.
The Big
we
D.
should all drink.
Darn it. I'll drink to that.
I mean,
And I'll drink to
if
the Big D experience.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone's experienced the Big D, it's definitely Xycia.
For sure.
For sure.
In fact, one of them's at Myrtle Beach. Oh, shit. Here we go. Actually, God.
I'm pretty sure I've been to one.
There you go.
Big D.
I mean, look at that. Look at the freaking logo there, too.
That is a very... I don't know. I don't know what words I can and cannot use. That's a very phallic logo. That is a very phallic logo.
It's very...
They got away with that too.
Yeah, they did.
Right.
Bruno, I feel like you want to make some comments, and you're not making any, and I feel like we are getting shortchanged. But
are we?
Are the short news?
I feel like I'm like looking at Mike's face, and I can see like every extra minute we're adding on to this. He's like,
Yep.
It's amazing.
He's like, I'm gonna need to buy that $2,000 chair to
calm myself down.
To calm me down.
So
totally ruined his segment.
Long story
on
short,
that chair and rotate. You'll be fine, Mike.
Long story short, I think they probably used D-Box at the Big D, but I couldn't confirm that.
I think we should check this hypothesis out. We'll confirm.
All right, off to Myrtle Beach.
Podcast.
Yeah.
Let's go,
road
guys.
trip. Let's go. Let's all go experience the Big D.
Yes. Yes. Can I say?
We could just.
Yes.
We can watch
good?
like
Is that
Black
gonna get us in
Widow
trouble?
at the Big D.
Oh, Mike's not happy.
Mike's very happy. So apparently, a person at Sony posted on Twitter this was actually the head of Sony Studios posted their cat liking bug snacks, and down at the bottom of the tweet was their PlayStation 5 upside down. I mean, cat's having fun. Cat's having fun here with bug snacks. And then he took down the tweet and quickly put it up again with it cropped out so you can't see the PlayStation 5 down at the bottom that was upside down. Interestingly enough, this was at launch. So November last year.
Yeah.
You would have think they learned the lesson. Nope. 9 months later, they do a commercial And in the commercial, underneath their like God of War segment down in the bottom, they have a PlayStation 5. They got it blown up in this Kotaku article. But the marketing firm still, like many people apparently, can't figure out which way's up on a PlayStation 5. Still. Bad design.
Sick. Well, they might not be able to figure out which way's up, but in our next story, we find out that Tencent can tell how old you are based on your face. Tencent, if you don't know, is a large everything conglomerate, including video games. And they've announced they're going to start using facial recognition technology to stop people under the age of 18 from playing video games into the night. This wasn't something that was leaked either. They were pretty confident about announcing this themselves. The system is called Midnight Patrol, which so bad. It'll identify minors who are playing video games late at night, and it'll kick them off gaming platforms. The system aims to prevent minors from posing as adults to circumvent a Chinese ban on late-night gaming sessions, and it will initially work across more than 60 Tencent titles. The Chinese tech giant said is what's listed in the article. Apparently, this is part of an initiative by China where they've introduced rules to curb video game playing over concerns that young people were becoming addicted. So here we go, a new era. Tencent will have control over all the games that they publish to use facial recognition, which, if you don't know, Tencent kind of has control over a lot of games. So
Yeah.
good times.
Camera off.
Grow a beard.
If you can.
Buy a fake one.
There you go. All right. On the 4th of July, Mark Zuckerberg, in his infinite wisdom, posted a video of himself on those hydrofoil surfboards, American flag in hand, and playing Take Me Home Country Roads by John Denver. And it is hilarious in itself, but pre-show we were talking about all of the memes and all of the other fixes of the video. Just spectacular. I have nothing else to say but spectacular.
It is.
It reminds me of, like, you know how
disturbing
Boston
thing.
Dynamics has robots that can balance now
Yeah.
really well?
Yeah.
It's literally just one of
He
them
can't.
with, like,
I was gonna
skin
say,
draped
yeah,
over it.
because
Yeah.
he's obviously a robot, so it doesn't impress me.
Yeah. Hey, but he
I was
didn't
actually-
skip leg day, so that's important.
I was actually playing one of the meme versions there where they replaced the song with Ride of the Valkyries.
Yes.
So that was already better.
That's super funny.
I loved it.
Well, in disappointing news, Nintendo has finally revealed the new Nintendo Switch that people have coined Nintendo Switch Pro. I'll be sure to clarify that Nintendo themselves did not brand this thing the Nintendo Switch Pro. That was entirely the community. Not that they stopped anybody from calling it the Nintendo Switch Pro. It's really just a slightly upgraded version of the Nintendo Switch that has an OLED screen and is slightly larger than the current gen Switch. So a lot of people are very sad because people expected that they were going to get an actual upgrade hardware-wise, and instead they just got a larger Switch with the same functionality. No 4K. Sorry, guys. Maybe next year or the year after that.
I heard better speakers and better kickstand.
Yes.
And now 64 meg of storage instead of 32 meg of storage. Although the average Switch game is over 64 meg, so that doesn't help you too much. And I was very distracted by Kelly fingering her mic.
Sorry.
just to clarify, it's 64 gigabytes of storage.
She's got a new
sniffle. Sorry.
And she was like, she kept tapping the top, which is her mute button, to be fair.
There
She's
goes
muting
that
it.
episode for being monetized.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I do know that there's a new game that is going to be coming out, at least for early access, later I believe, in August, called Black Geyser. And the interesting thing about this game is looking at it, it looks very similar to, well, a BioWare character RPG. I mean, it looks very similar to one of those. And it's not being released by BioWare. It's actually being released by a company that kickstarted this back in 2018 called Grape Ocean. And Grape Ocean, not to be confused with Ocean Spray, was going to release this in August 2019. It looks like that they're going to make August 2021 for the early access, and then later next year for the full release. Under a minute.
Yeah, you
Suck
did it. You did it. Go, Mike.
No.
It's your turn. Okay, so Resident Evil, there is a character in there called Sturm. Maybe saying that wrong. That the company's been accused of copyright infringement, stealing this character from another a movie, I think it was. Well, yes, a horror film. There's a modder who has taken it upon themselves to correct this and call it add in a mod called the copyright free Sturm, and it's literally just a fan. It made me laugh. It is just a floor fan, like oscillating fan, and you can kill that instead. Definitely check out the article on IGN because it's got the YouTube of it. It's hysterical.
So Resident Evil stole something else from someone.
Yes. Shocker.
Well, Capcom. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was certainly one of our stories, like, what, season 2, episode 1 or
Something
episode
like that.
2?
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago.
So someone, because people on the internet, because that's just how it goes, has figured out that the PlayStation logo, so the PS, that's like the red P and the S that's multicolor, yellow, green, and blue, I guess. The PlayStation logo is actually not a flat image. It is actually 3D. So they were able to get the art for this and flip it around. And what they had seen is, because of internet, is basically the cursed images of what it looks to be the backside of a P and the S. The internet's losing their mind because obviously that's just how things go. But it is interesting to see that the behind the scenes of the P and the S is actually, like, why? Why would they have this as actually 3D art rather than just a flat image? Like, that to me was kind of interesting. In itself.
Always been 3D. Always, like, everyone's always seen that.
The weirdest thing for anybody to care about.
Yeah.
I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody who's seen that has recognized that that is a P standing up and an S sitting down on the ground, so it has to be 3D.
Not if you just draw it.
What I think is weird is whoever rendered this thing, they obviously didn't think it was disturbing enough on itself that they actually added embossing and they did thickness to the S at the bottom, and they embossed everything to give it that, like, shading on the backwards
but
P
again,
there instead of.
This is just a logo. Like, you would just draw it flat. Like, there's no reason to have 3D rendered art for, like, a flat 2D image.
No one has any 3D rendered art. That's something someone made.
Anyway.
And
this is 3D. That's 3D right there.
So, moving on to our email section. We actually did get an email.
Woo!
So, this is actually from Aquast, who has submitted before. But it says, "Hey guys, I'm at work and was listening to your podcast where you were talking."
You're right. I Xycia the shit out of that. According to this, that they hacked it out of the PlayStation 1. And yes, apparently they did have Sony PlayStation apparently did have it fully 3D rendered.
Thank you.
All right, Mike, back from the top. If you want to start with the date. It's fine.
I Xycia it. I drink.
Today is
July 8th, 2021.
Hey, Sassy Gamers.
This is season 2, episode 52.
So this is an email from Aquas, who has listened to the podcast before. He says, "Hey guys, I'm at work and I was listening to the podcast where you guys were talking about your work week. Seems like every week now. This is what I'm doing right now. While listening, I was swapping out one of 3 rodent damaged harnesses since the car sat for a couple months. For reference, the car didn't start and the blower motor for the AC didn't work. I just figured this is different than what you guys are used to seeing on a daily basis. Let's just say the drinking game would have made this a lot more fun to deal with." And he sent us some pictures of this vehicle, basically all tore apart, like the seats and everything, having to like literally go through and pull everything out of this vehicle, which is pretty wild.
Aquas, what kind of rodent was this? Because this is spectacular.
Obviously Splinter, because
yes, yes, Splinter for sure.
My guy, there's this subreddit called Just Rolled Into the Shop.
Yes.
Do not frequent it. You should start frequenting it immediately.
Yeah.
And post your experiences on there.
Yeah, you should. That would be a perfect place for you, because this is literally that kind of stuff. This is good material here. So, hey, appreciate it. We understand. I know some of us.
That sounds like a bad day.
Some of us work in the digital world, but we also shovel things like this just in a digital format. So I would say rodents.
My condolences to
eat
your
stuff
sanity.
like that. So yeah.
Yes. And please send us more. Anything else crazy and weird like that, please send it to us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, send us just the dumbest things that roll into your shop.
Yes.
Yeah,
please.
I'd like that.
The
too.
most ridiculous.
I'd like that too. Well, cool.
I want to see like one of those found like abandoned Pimp My Ride vehicles and like how horrible it is. Those are always great.
Yeah.
There you go.
So that's what got our attention this week. If you're listening to the podcast, we do this live on Twitch, video format, on Thursday nights at 9 p.m. You can also catch the video later on YouTube once we throw it up there as well. We do have 100 or more now subscribers on YouTube. Super exciting. I know I sound thrilled, but no, it's actually super exciting. We're going to be able to have a custom URL here shortly. I'm just waiting on YouTube to give me the authority to do so, and we'll have it up. I'm not going to say what it's going to be because we have to figure out what's available, but eventually we'll let you know. So we do have that as well. We also are all on Patreon, so if you want to support us in a way that's more than just listening, feel free to visit us at patreon.com/sassgaming. There's different tiers right now. There's 2, I think, where you get the podcast unedited, or not, I'm sorry, not unedited. You get it with no ads.
Lucky you.
With no ads. And then I guess we could do that uncensored
It's like
too.
it's gonna be like build your own podcast. Here's the raw files. Go ahead and edit it however you want to.
Well,
I don't know. I think I'd like the unedited podcast.
I think we could
it's
do
funnier,
unedited too. Yeah, we could actually throw that up there.
Somebody's going to throw together like the Bizarre World version
Yeah.
of Got Our Attention.
Or you can, if you're on Twitch, you can see the moth that just flies around and that it just killed.
I've been watching that.
Yeah.
He's been
Got
fascinating.
the effer.
But
Yeah.
so we also
Cat
have
food.
a website, sassgaming.com, where you can find all of our links of how to find all of the things that we do. All right, so that's basically it. I can tell you my deets, but I tell you all the time, just go to sassgaming.com and you'll find whatever you'd like to see.
So I'm going to put in my vote that the custom URL channel is called Sass Up Your Arsenal.
My vote is going to be, hey, Sassy Gamers.
Drink.
Like
I broke
Mike
him.
always says. Jaws.
And we just make it Up Your Sass.
Up Your Sass is another good one. I like it. That's a good one.
Kiss my sassafras.
That's a good one. That was good. I like
So
that better.
you can find me at Phoenix Nova on most things. It's an underscore in between there for Twitch. which I'm not almost never on, unfortunately. But YouTube, it does have it there without the underscore. That is a double N in the middle, PHOENNIX underscore Nova, or not.
You can find me at Dimiron on Twitch or Dimiron Gaming on Twitter. That's DYMYRN. Not been streaming in many moons since the release of Outriders, but it's coming, I promise. Making some changes, moving some things around. It will happen in the somewhat near future. Sorry.
And you can find me at DaydrinkCarryTL on most social media platforms. Don't really stream much, but maybe I'll stream at dead of night if you really want to just see me panic and freak out multiple times. I know, it'd be fun. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, appreciate you guys watching, hanging out, listening, and we'll talk to you guys next week. Y'all be safe. Be easy.
Goodbye.
Bye, guys.